Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and today I'm back here in London on Sackville Street to continue our bespoke journey with John Kent and Terry Haste. You'll remember from our last video where John and Terry took my bespoke measurements. We then filmed them drafting my pattern, and today we're back for my first fitting. The fittings are such an integral part to the bespoke process, and it's where we are able to begin to see the bespoke garment actually take shape. So join me as we step inside with bespoke tailors John Kent and Terry Haste for my first fitting. John, Terry. So nice to be back. John.
Kirby.
So great to see you again.
And you, my darling, you all right?
Nice being back, Terry.
Oh, Kirby. I love you.
Nice to see you. So we brought in a little bit of beautiful London weather, and I couldn't be any more excited to be back. My favorite place. Good old Kent Haste.
Fantastic in as much as nice lightweight.
You know, these compliments, you have to pay a lot for all these compliments on camera.
No, but you always
thank
do.
you.
Yeah, well, quite rightly so.
Yeah.
Terrific.
So anyway, how are you guys getting along?
Yeah, we're okay. I mean, when you come next time, we'll have your suit ready for a fitting. We're not quite ready today.
No, stop that. Stop that. We've got enough problems.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. And as you said, we laid the weather on for you nicely. So
nice.
Yeah, we've got Paul, you know.
Yeah.
We try our best.
But so what's, your world, everything okay?
Yeah, good.
First class.
First fitting, I mean, this is pretty exciting. Not just one, but two.
Yeah.
So this is, two scoops is better
and
than
for
one.
us, for us as well, truly, because, in the bad cutter, and I've got to keep on my toes here because otherwise I won't hear the last of it. So
well, you guys are going to take it easy on one another, right?
Yeah. I mean, he won't be in the pictures at all because we can't.
Limelight.
We can't.
Old boy.
It's tough always being in his shadow, right?
Old boy in the back.
It's a long shadow.
We get on like outside, argue like mad. Love it. Love it.
I mean, if you guys are doing first fittings, I mean, this way, I get the privilege of being with both of you today.
Thank you.
Right, but John is doing a fitting as Terry kind of yelling out from the back of the cutting room and vice versa.
Yes, but not very nicely though. No, joking apart.
No, I'll put his right for you.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not proud. And if something, I often say to him, can you come in? Is that okay? So yeah. What do you think about the length? This length thing.
Yeah.
Is becoming, the very short jackets, even sort of guys that wore long coats, a bit long, shortening. And now they kind of come back a bit. And I'm used to making a conventional sort of longish, not long, but longish. And I actually treasure his comments. I truly do. And
because it's become a difficult issue at the moment.
It is with this length thing,
really?
honestly.
It's silly little jackets most people have gone away from.
Yeah.
But the long jackets that they were used to, they've seen people with shorter jackets, not those silly ones. But do you feel this is a bit long? Well, you've been like that for 20 years. What do you think? Well, I wouldn't mind it a little bit short. Then I go, Terry, can you come here?
Yeah, I mean, yes, come out. We were going backwards
with that
and
chap,
forwards.
yeah.
With
Do you remember that guy? Yeah.
We were talking, we were arguing over a quarter of an inch.
We were talking that much. But we got it, and I said, I think you could do with it, and he agreed. I did it. I marked the 3 up, and we're going with a quarter of an inch longer. But
I have to agree. He takes no notice of me.
You liar! I do take notice of you. You know that.
Well, a good tailor, I guess, is his will, is what perseveres at the end of the day.
This is what's great is that, I know he respects me and vice versa, and we disagree. Not much because we cut sort of similar.
Yeah, but it's just minor, isn't it? We only disagree on minor.
A little healthy disagreement is probably.
It's like, do you think you ought to take this in a quarter of an inch or a centimetre, whatever they work in? I work in inches. Terry works in centimetres.
No,
not when you're drafting, only when you're
drafting,
ordering cloth and stuff.
Well, that's going to make it confusing.
Yeah, it's great fun. I mean, come in and agree with each other. That's boring because you're giving in. And I don't want to, no more than he does. And if he says, do you think that shoulder's a bit wide? And he goes, yeah. And I go, much? This kind of thing. It's great.
Yeah. Well, we're here for the first fitting, right? And so talk to me a little bit about where the first fitting fits in. I mean, it's an integral part to the bespoke process. It's really one of the key differentiators of bespoke is the fact that you go through these fittings. But some people do 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. I mean, kind of where do you guys lie in terms of number of fittings, and then how does that fit into the overall process?
To us, the first fitting is so important. I mean, I think John would agree.
Couldn't agree more. It's our fitting, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's for us. It's not for you. It's for us. You're not going to get a
Apart from, forgive me, but sleeve lengths.
Yeah.
You know, we can't judge that for you.
What do we start asking people? What
I do. Do you?
Do we?
You have sleeves in yours.
We can't. We can't. No. As soon as you give them, the choices, that's where the problem starts.
That's true.
Just don't ask. Okay, sir, all done.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Shall I put it in a bag for you?
But no, you're quite right. I mean, you know, we have the first fitting. And you see the stitches, that's the scaffolding, if you like, to, you know, that's have a building, they put scaffolding up, that's our scaffolding.
Okay.
And then the next stage we go to, it'll have more stitches, more scaffolding, but eventually when we, you know, hopefully you like what we do, and then that comes out. But it's so important, the fitting.
Yeah.
You can't get it right.
But what are you looking for in the first fitting?
Well, we're just basically looking for balance. Balance is the key to the whole garment. So balance is the most important thing. Once we got that in position, then we'll look at button positioning, lapel widths, what you want to do there, how much shape you like. Do you like what shape? Do you like a lot of chest? Do you like less chest? And the difference between John and myself is John cuts a little bit more chest than I do. I tend to cut them a little bit smaller through the chest. We're talking eighths of an inch, really. That's all it is. And then things like shoulder widths and again, back to what we were talking about, jacket lengths, and it's just all the basic things, really.
Yeah.
And try and get you to relax as well, because when you every time someone puts it, first thing they do is stand up like that, and then they walk out the door like that,
and wonder why the collar comes off.
That's right.
So we probably talk a little bit at first, just a little bit of waffling to put you at ease and then get you to relax a bit, because it does make a huge difference when we fit in it.
Absolutely. And the garment's already been cut. I mean, the fabric's been cut. How much can be changed after the first fitting?
Well, I'll kind of come in on this.
Yeah, go on.
In my opinion, if you've got to have 5 fittings, unless you're charging like £14,000 a suit or something, which is ridiculous, obviously, you know, we aim to get the first fitting how we've communicated, you know, what you like. You may like a little bit tight here. To get that fitting, for me and Terry, we get our first fittings pretty well on the money. So the next time you come in, we haven't got to go through that again, because you'll enjoy what we do, hopefully, but not keep asking the same thing. You know, what do you think about the button? What do you think? That's really, we discussed that. You know, we get the balance right. We get it like a pair of scales. It's got to be absolutely not like so. Yeah. But, you know, we try to get our first fit, and I think you'd agree, so we don't.
Well, we've
worked for companies where it's like, I leave it to the next time. We don't do that, because next time somebody will come in and you'll forget. We try and get that pretty well on the money, and then next time you can see it, it's in a different form, and you can see, I see what you've done here, sort of thing. But that's, you know.
And all these changes are being kind of memorialized or adjusted into the pattern, right? So they're carried forward.
The pattern's adjusted after every fitting we do.
Okay.
You know, worst comes to the worst, if something you're not happy with, we just put new fronts in.
Yeah.
First fitting. It's no big deal. So nothing's irreparable in the first fitting.
We cut everything one way, as I explained last time, and we're like that. Very much so. If you weren't happy with the front, which doesn't happen, thank God, too much, we would have no hesitation, not say, well, that's how it should be and all that sort of stupidness. We just say, right, so if you're not, you know, if we're not happy and you're not happy, as Terry said, get another metre in and away we go again.
You might decide you don't like the pockets like that.
We're not. We respect. I know the customer's always right and all that kind of thing.
No, not in
but
here.
not in our company. No, what we're saying is, but if we like to please, really like to please, that's why we're so busy. Thank God. If you'd have decided on a slanting pocket and you really didn't like it, we would say, well, we'll put new fronts in. We don't say, well, I'm not being funny, that's what you ordered. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're not going to wear the suit. And it isn't any point proceeding any further. Simple as that.
Well, that's why you guys have such a great reputation.
Thank you.
Well, at the end of the day, we want you walking out and being very happy. And, you know, there's some things we might pick up on when it's finished, and you might think, well, this is fine, I'm going to take it today. And say, well, it's something we want to really do about it. So we're not going to let it go until we're happy.
I've always worked on that. If I'm fussy, same as him, as you can see, he's immaculate. if I wouldn't be happy, if I'm not happy with that, if it were mine, then it should be put right for the customer, and that's how we work. And it might just be a low collar that you think, shall I, shan't I? It's not a case of that, we do it.
Well, interesting. We've got 2 pieces today.
We have.
So I guess, shall we draw straws?
Shall we start?
I mean, I see them back here. These are the 2.
Yep, that's mine.
I mean,
We'll let the old boy start.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he'll make it through the
I'll
rest
struggle
of the day.
down to the fitting room, I think. Get me a stick, quick.
Do you want to pop through and put the trousers on?
Okay, thank you.
Away you go. Let's take the coat.
Here we are, beautiful bird's eye.
Well, we'll get it right in the end. It's a little close in the waist, I think. I'll have you face in the mirror.
It's probably no fault of yours.
What we're going to do is, it's got to be made up. What I wanted to ask you is, I didn't want to give you, with all due respect, I'm going to move that, if I may, just to there. Would you object if I won't give you, obviously, braces when I started. Yeah. Would you object at this point being just a fraction higher?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
it won't be, that's what I don't want you to do, and I'm going to give you a nice full plate. They're a little bit, they're kind of a little bit too slim. So what we're going to do is, I don't like that dip in the middle. So what we're going to do is, from the sides are pretty well okay. I'm going to raise that. I mean, you know, it'll just be level, which is one, and then look great. Then I'm going to give you more in the waist because it's a little bit obviously too tight, but I'm doing it through here. So I won't do it through the seat seam, and then I'm giving you a little bit more through the leg. But it'll be an English cut rather than a sort of baggier trouser, if that makes sense. But it'll be comfortable. I want to try and keep this military look. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's very
too
clean
long,
in the back.
of course. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I'm going to I'm just want to fill that leg in a bit, coming off that calf muscle, so that I don't get any drag. I want to keep that look. I love that look, but it's too slim. I've kind of been a bit over enthusiastic, basically. So that's going to go. That's going to be more room there. Sorry.
How much higher are you going?
5/8.
Oh, not a lot then.
No, I just don't like that. We used to call that in the trade 8th circular band. That's called it. And if you ask me what that means, I haven't got a clue. But that's what we used to, 8th circular band. I just want to come from that point there to that point there. Well,
a little bit higher.
I'll show you on the chalk. It's literally about 1/2 inch, just in the front. I don't like that skimpy look there on a brace trouser. That looks better on a straight top trouser, obviously. I'm going to get a little bit more width. I'm keeping the balance the same, but I'm going to let that come forward.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let that come out.
Yeah.
And that'll do the job. And what's killing them at the moment, basically, is that I noticed
The 10 pounds I gained?
they're too long. They're too long. I mean, I'm inclined to be still the old style kind of thing. That's gonna come around. Both of them have got to come around. So if we just take a little bit off there.
And we were talking earlier about the length of jackets. The rise of trousers is probably equally debated.
Oh, absolutely.
Where do you, I mean, you know, I guess as tailors have a kind of preferred height of the trouser?
No, not really. It just depends on the person, really. Because if you've got a long body, you obviously need a higher rise. If you have a short rise, you just look all torso then and no legs. So it's just in proportion, really.
So it's going back to kind of the principle of balancing out the body.
Yeah, everything's about balance, isn't it? At the end of the day, that's the most important
absolutely.
part.
They're going to come round, and I'm going to give you a choice. That's why I purposely did this.
Okay.
Do you prefer, ignore that piece if you would in the middle where I've pinned it, if you can kind of imagine that's not there.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the cleaner look of the left leg, so you just got that little kick at the bottom, or do you like more on the bottom of your trousers?
I kind of prefer the soft break.
I would have thought so. Yeah. I just give you a choice. I like to do that. I think that's a better look.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll take a bit more off this leg. It comes off the hip line. Most people have got one hip slightly different to t'other. And
did you put a wedge in it?
Yeah, I did, but it's too tight here.
A wedge?
So
Yeah.
What's a wedge?
Get that right the way round, big time. Yeah.
And in the first fitting, I mean, you have the ability to.
Oh yeah, this is going to be ripped flat, and I'm going to recut. I want more in the fork, more through the side seam to let that come forward, and I'll make the waist size up by letting it out through the side seam. But That's fine. It's just too slim. That'll come round. I've got to kick those round like that.
The pleats are hanging nicely, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're too tight. They're being pulled back here, Terry. They're not helping there, are they? I'd like to I didn't want to get you, an enormous pair of trousers. I wanted to try and keep our look, which is that sort of military look, but I want a little bit more width here, and obviously through the fork, so you're comfortable. But that length on your shoe like that would be great, I think.
Well, perfect in the back.
Yeah, I think that, and leave the back length. Yeah. But I just love that look, especially with braces. I just like that look.
And no back pockets?
A little bit too slim. Over enthusiastic, I think, on that one.
Yeah, and the Duke of Edinburgh, I mean, we're kind of drawing inspiration.
No, he would have had much fuller in the leg.
Really?
But it was a much more older cut. This would have been, if we turn sideways, this would have come from there to there, dead straight. There would have been yards of it. I want to get this much fuller, but I don't want it sort of flapping about. I like to see that not collapsing at the back, so to speak. Yeah. But I've just been a bit over enthusiastic, I think, which is good.
Well, I'm flattered that's how you remembered me.
Well, we try.
That slim, young, dashing chap.
Slim, young, good looking.
This is it. And we will see what we got. Right, let's get you straight then. That's about there, isn't it? Sort of. Coming round to move into the front area. Right, let's just have you looking straight ahead. If you can pick a point on the mirror that you're looking at, and if you could literally just look at a point on the mirror, that'd be great. So let me get you like that. That's good. Okay. Right, I love to do this. Pull you about a bit. Well, not literally, but I mean so that you do relax. Because we all tend to, as soon as you're looking, you kind of tend to stand up as part of the act. But this is, for me, the most important point on the actual coat. Your sleeve pitch is exactly the same as mine. It's very forward. Okay. And if I was to put that in normal pitch, we'd be in dead trouble. Now, here we go. Dead trouble. Let's just repin that.
And at this point, I mean, the garment's basted together. It has no lining. Does it have canvas? I mean, you've got the canvas just basted?
Yeah, just literally tacked up. And then I'm going to literally, reduce it. Or let it out, as the case may be. So what I'm going to do is I've just marked my front edge. Without that, it could be a problem. I'm going to move around to the back, if I may.
Okay.
And just see what we got. Okay. Now, is it feeling a little slim through there? Don't worry about the front, it's a bit puffy, but does it feel a little tight through there?
Maybe a touch.
A touch. Right, that's good.
I've got some pins.
Oh, sorry, Terry, thank you.
And again, at this stage, you're looking for those broad adjustments.
Catered for. It's a little slim through, I think. I don't think it's me. I think the cloth shrunk.
Yeah, it must
to
be.
be honest, it's not me. Definitely not me. It's the cloth.
It's the cloth shrunk. That marathon is just.
They just don't do it like they used to.
That marathon and all and cheap cloth we're using. I think that's what it. That's what's done it.
Is that a new bit of chalk you got?
Yeah, I took it from your board. I stole it. Now let's have you like that. That's cool. Right. Okay. Well, obviously, I'm not going to go mad. Every time I let this out too much, it gets baggy. I'm going to keep that run, but go through.
Oh yeah?
About 3/8, yeah, but bare 3/8, Terry. You're right, because what happens is...
What, more over the seat, you mean?
Yeah, I'm going to wean a bit over the beam. I like to sway it. I've already swayed it, but I love that look, as if you put a bit of tape around and pulled it in all on the seams, and I just didn't come in enough there, so I'm going to do that. It's fractionally long in the back, but not a fortune. That collar should be... Just look forward, Kirby, if you might. Thank you. Don't know what's going on there. It might be the back neck, might be too small. We'll have a look at that side. That's great. I think the length's good, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't muck about with that. Oh, that's great. Now let's work on the front. Do you think this has got to come in a tad? I like to bring everything in on no pleats, and it's just a little bit tight across the beam and a weeny bit across the back there. Collar height's great. That won't leave your neck,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
great.
important. I've got something going in on the left side, which I've got to work out.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
Which I will
No,
do.
the collar is exceptional. I mean,
And
that's
let's
one of the
have you-
challenges. I've got a tall neck,
Yeah.
Right.
a long neck.
Here we go. Here we go.
And length, do you think the length is?
No, we feel the length. Look at this is the bad side. This is the correct side, except it's too small in the armhole by a little bit.
Yeah.
As you can see, you've got to drop right. See that side hanging down lower than the other? I'm going to do that in a sec. This is the better side, but I think it's too tight in the armhole, which I'll check in a minute. But I'd like to do the sleeve length. There's no correct sleeve length, actually, but I've got to get it correct to what you like, but there is no such thing. I like sleeves up here. I've got customers who want them down there. I always fit to the round of the hand. Can you see that round? I would have thought, for starters, that's pretty well on the money, and this is too long. But do you like, just shoot your cup and then let's see what happens. Do you feel, let's just pull that there. Possibly that's even too long for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I would maybe take not a
Too long.
quarter,
I'd
but
take
like
a
an
quarter
eighth.
off that one.
An eighth or a
and
quarter.
if you could pull your other, I really don't want to go by shirt though. Let me just have a look.
Yeah.
I think what we'll do, we'll take a quarter off of this one, and although the hand looks the same, it's the way your arm's coming forward on that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to cheat in as much as I'm going to take a quarter off of that one, and I'll get you to do one thing, and I'm going to take a net half off of that one, I think.
And we'll still refine sleeve length across the other fittings.
Oh yes, this is
absolutely.
just
to get us
starter,
somewhere.
really.
Only I want to do something in a minute which will impress you, but I haven't got a clue why I do it. I'm only joking. Kirby, what I'd love you to do is I'm going to take this sleeve out from the back, which is what I do, slowly, and when I've completely got it free, as it were,
Hard to watch.
would you, with your right
It'll
arm,
reattach.
He normally cuts holes in them, by the way.
Yeah, I'm being careful today. No, I'm not. This is very blunt, this knife. Would you, with your right hand, pull that sleeve off for me very slowly and tell me if you're comfortable with the cuff width?
Yeah, perfect.
I think it's spot on, don't
Yeah.
you? I don't want it any narrower, but that looks
Need this
great.
back?
So that's fine. I'll just pop that down there. Or perhaps Terry could hold that for a sec. Right, now I'm going to move around to the front. And same thing here, we'll leave that there. I'm going to take this out now, but we don't need you to do that again, actually. Okay. That's great. I'll check it as well. That's really why I leave one in. Yeah, I mean, do you wear links very much?
You know, not regularly.
No,
So, yeah.
just give that a tad more. I'll make a decision on that when I mark it up. It might need just a tad more. Let's get rid of the knife. That's cool. Right, here we go. I'm not going to cut you, you know. Yeah, I mean, this is a good armhole, but it's too much of a good thing. I'm going to give you a bit more depth. Okay. And down.
He does what I
Terry,
do on
check
mine,
it.
doesn't he?
Sorry, dear?
Does what on mine, same as me.
Same as you. Exactly. Push you straight in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 3/8 till. Come and check this. Why not? I don't want to get it big. You know, I'm inclined to go a bit overboard. I think 3/8.
Yeah, it's maximum, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't go more. I don't want a big arm. It's not you. You like a closest coat. So that side is spot on. I'm not going to reduce that. I might do 1/8 there. This is the one we got to work on. Let's just have you like so, and I'll move like that. So what we've got here, we've got to drop. So we've got to clear that, the drop amount, and I'm then going to plus another quarter, because that, obviously when I pick that up, it'll be more or less the same. So we're going to go to there and reduce that chest, and I'm going to have a look at that. That's good. Let's have a look here. I'm going to keep that front edge neat, Terry. I've cut this coat quite crooked as to my norm. That's why I've got your front, which I quite like. Crooked. Yeah, I cut it purposely. And I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to obviously let that come forward as I said, and then I'm going to obviously plus up whatever. But I'm going to keep that. I think that looks better. You're used to a very open front. I don't think I want to cut mine normally. It's too close.
Not too button.
No, not, that's right. So I'm going to go on that tag.
What are you going to do? You're going to take a bit out of this side, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to clear that 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
Bare, 3/8. And I'm taking just an 1/8 at the top there to hold it short. But I might not. But this one we've really got to go to town on. But well, you get that, don't you, on that one side? Just wondering whether I'm crooking that a bit more, you know. I don't, would you?
No.
No, it's crooked already, isn't it?
Crooked, yeah.
Yeah, mind you, I can fill that in a bit. I'll have a look at that. Just want to get a shot of that. I'm going to do me one of them.
What's that? Oh,
question mark. Yeah.
Delphi's playing noughts and crosses.
Yeah, question mark. I was taught by, not the guy I work for, by Louis Stanbury and Fred Stanbury of Kilgore, French and Stanbury. And when you're crooking and straightening, that's just my thing to remind me. But if I was straightening, I make a mark this side. If I was crooking, he said, because when you take this off and you lay it down and somebody else lays a coat on it, and then you look at the shoulders and the chalks have come out, they would never come out from under that lapel. So that was a tip given to me.
Nice little margin of safety.
Too long to think.
A little bit of insurance.
55 years ago, whatever. It's a perfect idea. It makes sense because that won't come out. But the chalks do come out, the chalk shoulders. I'm gonna go through. I'm just debating.
Out,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then sway it. I'll let it out, then sway it. And I still feel that's 3/8 through, do you? I know you like close, but
I do probably 5/8 over there.
I love that look. I love that look.
But then I do a bit more shape than you.
Yeah, I think it's a bit over the beam, isn't it?
Yeah.
By about 3/8, we'll put that.
That's all them marathons he's been eating.
Is that what marathons he's been eating? Oh, you've not been running, you've been eating them. That's why.
That's right. Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Fish and
Well,
chips,
you are in England, so.
And maybe a quarter because I'm going to go through there. Yeah, that'll do. And we got a bit of that. Well, I got it from there. I won't do that.
From there.
Just over that a little bit. Yeah, and I'm going to do that, Terry. Knock that down and just keep that just a tad longer. Yeah, through the forepart, but not much. Yeah, that'll do. For starters, get it underway. Collar's pretty neat. Something going on there. Don't know what that is, but I think the back neck's too narrow on that side. Smashing. Yeah. Good. Like the cloth?
Shows promise. I love the cloth.
Beautiful, isn't it? Just a classic, really. I mean, it's been around from the ear dot, but once we get the trousers a bit more width in it, slightly higher in front, you'll enjoy that more.
Yeah,
I don't like that dip. And it gives you more room through the fork anyway, so that's good.
That's great. So then you'll take this and
rip it to pieces.
Okay.
Well, not literally, take it apart.
Take it apart.
Yeah. And then go to the next stage, which is, I've asked you questions, but really, you know, I'm going to crooken this, straighten this, deepen it. I mean, that we don't go into. It's just, do you feel uncomfortable? Yes, I want to give you a bit more depth. But it's not always done that way. It's done in different sort of ways. So.
And so will the garment be put together just like this for the next fitting, or it'll be in a different...
No, it'll be more advanced.
Okay.
And then you can see more...
You're only here for a few days, aren't you? So we probably will go for...
Oh, sorry, we're retacking it up, aren't we? Because we'll go for a stitch, fitting like this, but it'll have more stitches in it, but it's basically an update on this one, really.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to take that off, so I don't think I've pinned you. I sometimes do, but I haven't. That's a novelty. Good. So, that's it. Let me recap. We've got... Good. This height is good. More through the beam. Let that come out. Let that come forward, but still maintain that English look. I don't want to get that sort of baggy bum look with, forgive me.
Okay.
We'll keep that look, but there'll be much more. There'll be more comfort in it, of course.
And I really like the high rise here.
Yeah, but I'm going to leave that as is, I think. Yeah. Unless, I mean, would you like to see that higher?
I think it's pretty good.
I do.
I mean,
it's just to me, it's just the front that's a bit low. It's a little bit slow. Too tight across the beam. Yeah. Too tight in the fork. That'll maintain that look, but there'll be more of it basically, and we'll try them on again anyway. So
and how will this be? Will this open at the top?
Yes, eventually, and have a nice little V opening at the top. Yeah. At the moment, I've just released it, save you being uncomfortable.
And we'll do it without any pockets.
You've got pockets
like this,
on
or
it.
We're going to do pockets
on
in the
later.
back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very clean.
Yeah.
What do you think, Terry? How'd John do?
It's a bit.
No, he's not bad for an old boy. You know.
It's a bit. I've achieved what I wanted to achieve. Is that I don't want this collapsing. I noticed on the suits you got on, they're excellent around that area. I want to try and keep that so I don't get too much flabbiness through there, but you need more in the fork, undoubtedly. Yeah. And I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to do it through the side seam. But I want to try and keep that. That will come out. I want to try and keep that look if I can. That's why I've gone a bit slim, to be honest. Yeah. I'm inclined to make them a bit fuller here in the normal way, and I've gone the other way. It's a bit too tight. But I just don't want that. That sort of flabby look, which we get around this town. There seems to be a thing that, you know, too big through the bum area. Well, but that would be, those pleats will come forward more on that side there.
I'm excited to see it come together. Yeah,
we go to the next stage. All I'm worrying about is with the pins. If you just take the braces off and just drop them to, how can we do this, Tom? I can mark chalk each. Now, as Kirby sits down, they're going to go right in his, oh, thank you. If you could just mark that either side, it's not going to be that much, but because that will come up once I let it out, but that's great. I'm just worrying that I'm going to, as you bend down, they're going to go in you, they can really stick.
You hear screams from the fitting room.
Exactly, and the lawsuit comes up next week, is it? That's how it works, something like that.
There you go.
That's grand. So, do you want to
slip the other pair on?
Yeah.
Grab a pair in the fitting room.
To the fitting room, Terry. I'm going to sit down. The old boy's going to sit down for a while.
Here we are.
Right, number two.
Number two.
Our maestro trouser maker.
Yeah. Apparently, I've been spending too much time in the pub.
Yeah, well,
oh, is that what this is?
yeah, we're just going to let the waist out about 2 meters, and then we should be okay.
Right. 2 meters. Do you think that's enough?
Boy, I joke with my wife. I can't afford to gain weight. This is a great example.
Would you like us to send a picture to her?
No, we can use that as
no dessert for me.
Blackmail.
Now, yes, exactly. Now, if you want to give us a bribe, we won't tell your wife anything.
So
it's a beautiful
yours, John,
flannel, though.
Really?
Nice choice of fabric.
You've got more width in yours, which I like. I've gone.
Yeah, but we're still.
I've gone crazy.
Here,
but you've still got to give a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, it's a different cuff at the bottom. What's the?
What did you do?
This is a slightly wider one, so it's 2 inches instead of 1 inch and 3/4.
Well, no. What about the circumference?
Or the width of the trouser?
Yeah.
I think
Slightly
these
wider,
were, a little bit, just to make them emphasise a bit more because they're casual, to
Do you
show
like
off
that,
the
or is that
flannel.
too wide for
You know, I think it might be slightly
Too wide?
It's just, I feel like it's hiding a little bit too much of the shoe.
So we'll come down, just bring it in.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. What do they measure? Let's see.
But it could just be a little bit of the. The break also.
They're 19, so quite wide. We're bring down to 18.
18 bottoms.
Yes.
That'd be quite nice.
And then
wouldn't it?
shorten them
Then
a
we
little
just
bit.
shorten them.
Because that's a little bit too much break.
How does that feel in the waist? Does that comfortable?
Yeah, this feels fine. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
We're going to do this without braces, so this
I
will just
think
be
so.
cut with
Probably
tabs.
be
Yeah.
nicer without.
Yeah.
Straight tops.
What are you going to do? You're going to raise it, are
Yeah, just raise it a bit at the front.
you? And what about the pleats where they're pulling? You're going to give it
Yeah,
some more room across there?
we'll let out at the side, probably put another underside dart on account of all those pub visits. And
All them
that will
fish and
help.
chips, yeah.
Yeah. And that will allow more fullness across the top of the pleats and help them close a little bit better.
Do you mind a slightly fuller trouser?
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't mind, right?
No.
Okay.
Happy with that?
And that feels comfortable in the waist now. What's that? About 27 waist, is it now?
27. Oh, yes.
It's 27.
Yeah.
On the half, right?
Yeah,
Oh, a quarter, don't be too harsh.
yeah, so I think what Suyamba said, what she's going to do is bring this round, bring them forward. It's going to raise the fronts up.
Yeah.
I think it needs, what did you do? An inch?
Inch.
An inch at the
An
front.
inch, really? Okay.
So you can bring this round, a bit more fuller through here so the pleats are falling. And Suyamba's going to narrow the bottoms down. I think the knee's okay though, isn't
Yeah,
it? I don't
knee
think
seems
you want
fine.
to touch it through
Absolutely.
the knee. And then we're obviously going to shorten them because it's going to be hitting higher on your shoe. You don't want that much break, do you? How much are you shortening them?
a good 3/4.
Good 3. Well, we'll try that. We'll have a look because when you raise the body up, some of that's going to drop down anyway.
It's a beautiful brown. I love this flannel.
A grey brown, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful,
what do they call
gorgeous.
it? Marley, isn't it? Marley brown.
Grey
Really?
marl.
I mean, it works with the black shoes. I could wear it with the dark brown.
Yeah, yeah, it works really well with that, doesn't it?
And in the fitting room, I almost mistook it for grey.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's the idea of it.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's the idea because it's funny, someone was looking at it the other day. He said, "I can't quite work out if it's grey or brown. I don't know what colour to call it."
I like that whenever your fabric's got a little dimensionality to it. Rust. Yeah.
Okay.
The famous Kent Haste house tweed.
The house tweed. Obviously, it's totally different to John's because John's gone with the no vents and.
Yeah. Is there anything different between how you prepare your fittings?
Oh yeah, mine will fit.
He's right.
Yeah, slightly different. We got several tailors, so we obviously didn't want to give you to the same jacket maker because obviously that defeats the object a bit. So we've gone for different jacket makers.
Okay.
And they just make slightly different. That's all.
And once, I mean, whenever you're sending a jacket out, kind of deciding which maker you're going to use.
Yeah.
Once a customer has a maker, will you keep them with the same maker?
It will always be with the same. Every time be the same one. I mean, as you see, it's very, very similar to John's. Mm-hmm. Except I've given you I think I give a slightly bigger back than you.
Yeah, I'm going to give a bigger back though.
I think, yeah, you definitely need that. This mark here, this is for the sleeve pitch because although sleeve pitch is pretty good on that side. This side's just a little bit too far forward because at the moment that's fitting you to there where your arm is hanging naturally there. Do you like comfort with this? Are you going to ever wear a sweater under it at all?
No.
Never. Do you like the comfort or do you like totally perfect looks?
You know, I kind of prefer a clean drape.
Yeah, so do I. I wear mine very, very clean. And I can't move in mine. So what I'm going to do is just take this little bit out. Just this bit here. You literally see nothing there because you're quite big here, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's all that time in the gym, it's obviously working out.
Pint lifting, I think.
Yes, that's right.
Lifting the pints of beer. I'm going to do what John done really because you are very, very hollow through the back seam. Mm-hmm. And luckily I've got vents so it's not hugging so much on the seat. But I'm going to just literally do exactly the same as John. Just give you a little bit more sway through that back seam because I think you really need it. And then same thing really. We're just going to work the blades out through here.
Because I've got prominent blades and then a very hollow kind of back.
Yeah, you have very hollow back, very hollow. Is that height okay? I'm showing an inch on that collar. Is that?
I'd raise it a
too
touch.
much? Yeah, I was thinking bring it up just a tiny, tiny little bit.
What do you think? A quarter?
Yeah, we'll start with a quarter anyway because we're going to again try it on again next week, so we can do that. What we were talking earlier, this is a classic example really, we were talking, John was talking about being crooked, he cut it quite crooked. I've actually cut you a bit straighter, so as you can see mine's straighter there, whereas John's was opening out more. So what we're going to basically do is, I'm going to go a bit more crooked and probably John's going to go the other way.
Okay. Split the difference.
Yeah, because I'm one button whereas John's two buttons and we don't want you to have this too closed in on a one.
Because you want it to open.
Yeah, you want it to open.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to open it a wee bit through there. But how do you feel about jacket length?
The length seems great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
I like that length.
Looks all right, doesn't
Smashing.
it? Same as the other.
Mine might not be quite as long because of the no vents.
Both the same.
But sorry?
They're both the same.
Are they? It's just because of the no vents. Funny
That's all it can be, yeah. So sleeve length really doesn't really matter too much at this stage, as what really just echoing what John said. Do you think just a tiny bit off that one?
Well,
Or
this
are you
is the one
happy
I
with
would
that?
say that I like to show a little bit of cuff.
Yeah, because I show an inch of cuff, so I wear mine very short.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Let's just take a quarter off of that one.
That's what I think.
And then we'll take half off of this one.
I had the same, Terry, so...
Yes, exactly the same, just for the time being. I'm going to give you a bit more width on the sleeve. We'll check that. I'm going to do exactly the same as what John done, because I really want to have a look under the arms, because you do.
Okay.
You sit into your jackets exactly the same as I do.
Do you want, there's a little
No,
pick?
let's
get this. Well,
Sorry. A bit too adventurous. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to go too wide on them. I'm going to slip the other one out as well. Is that okay?
sure.
We do this till you pay us a deposit. We just hold it back. I'm actually going to widen that a little bit because it was just catching your hand as we were getting it off. I've got to be honest, I've got exactly the same as John's got. That's frightening, this, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's funny.
Must be me.
It's quite. It's remarkable. Your back balance is lovely, Terry. Mine's a bit too long in the back, which is a good fault, but it is a fault.
Damn customers.
Yeah, they're a pain, aren't they?
Back's
I'm actually
great.
going to take a little bit of that away, just because you're sitting into it a bit there. But as you can see, I'm a little bit smaller on the chest than John. That doesn't bother you, does it?
No, I think it's again.
You're
quite
happy
clean.
with that? I just want to have a look through here, really.
I know. This is dramatic. There's real drama here.
Oh, I feel so butch. I'm going to work that out because you've got them bones, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we really need
You're
to
only
get
doing that because you had a row with your fiancée this morning, so
it, yeah.
you're taking it out on the jacket.
She said she's going to give me garlic tonight. You know how
You
I
don't
feel
like
about
garlic.
garlic.
He doesn't like garlic.
Oh, no.
Well, it's a Friday.
I hate
Right.
garlic. Fish or garlic. I like fish and chips, but that's very English, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to do exactly the same. Pick that one side up.
What you got on the drop, Terry? Is it a bare half?
It's about 3/8, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. It's not that much, is it?
No.
I'm going to go with 3/4 on the armhole and 3/8 on the other side.
Just decide which side's better. Yeah, I think the left side's nicer, isn't it? It looks nicer. So I'm going to pick up this right side right the way through.
Got a lovely shape on the back, Tal.
Yeah, well, I
Love
was just
it.
looking at shaping
Lovely,
on the back
lovely,
is fine.
lovely
But how do you
shape on
feel
the
about
back.
shaping on the front? Are you
I like this side.
like that's
Right,
the
yeah.
side I like as well. It's much nicer,
It's
isn't
a-
it? This
is
side's
it-
just drifting away
I mean,
a
this
little
is,
bit, isn't it?
I guess, pinches a little bit more in the waist.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one.
it's a bit flatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to pick that up, and that will get rid of that. See, the minute I do that, see
Yeah.
how much cleaner that becomes.
Okay. And that's again the drop shoulder.
That's the drop shoulder, yeah. So we either pick it up or I walk behind you all the time holding you up. And yeah, we put the pockets on later. And John likes his pockets. It's just a personal preference. John likes his pockets on for the fitting.
Yeah.
I'm not mad on that. But it's just a personal choice. Flaring on the side seam, I think that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want to go any more flare,
No.
do we? And that's just hugging quite nicely through there.
And so the canvas that's in this, I mean, are you making your canvases from scratch? I mean,
Yes,
that's part of the
yes.
process.
Yes.
And are they in the final state, or will it?
This canvas as it is will stay.
Okay.
And same as John's, the canvas
Yeah.
stays in. The pockets will go in next. We
And
put
so
that-
you're darting or building up the canvas, I mean, in order to help reinforce whatever the chest
Yeah.
is that you're going to make.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
don't go too heavy. The old way of doing it, you used to have one bit of hair cloth through the chest. Then you'd have another bit of hair cloth through here. Then you'd have another bit of hair cloth through here. People don't want that heavy look anymore. So
Okay.
we've done away with all that. We've gone lighter and lighter. And we use a lighter weight canvas now.
Really?
Which is a
Interesting.
worn hair canvas.
Okay.
And inside we use, no, I can't really get to it.
Yeah. But
without
you've got
really
the
stitching, but we have
horsehair.
Yeah, the horsehair
Yeah.
inside. But we like a proper horsehair, which gives you, once we've taken this away a little bit in the fronts here, that will pop out, and this chest
That's
just
what gives you
holds
the
out
chest.
a bit nicer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the drape.
gives you a sharper coat, a nicer coat. Some people use what's called Sido, which is a very, very thin chest canvas, and you know, our thing, it just collapses a bit too much. But that gives you a softer colour. It's just preferences more than anything else.
Are you happy?
We're all there, I think. We're there for this stage, so I think we can then get it off you, rip it down, mark it up.
Great. Well, I'm not making your work easy on you, but I trust you guys will
we are,
be able to.
I'm going to take mine apart as we speak, well, literally.
Yeah.
And while it's fresh in the memory, I can obviously mark it up 2 days later, but I'd rather do it now.
And so you're taking it back to the pattern.
Back to the
All
pattern.
these are adjusted.
Taking it flat, remarking it, and we get it tacked up.
Okay.
We fit in with you. You're going to look in your diary. We're thinking Thursday afternoon, I think.
Yeah, sounds great.
Sounds great.
It's the beauty of spending a little bit of time in London. We can get both a first and a second fitting in.
Very well. That'd be lovely for us because, as I say, you'll see a transformation.
Yeah.
In as much as the fit, the actual stitching will be virtually the same, but the fit will be rectified, and that's what.
And if there was a little bit more time, you'd put the lining in.
Yeah. If there was more time, we would have gone to our half again that we're going to on the next stage. It would have been slightly more advanced. It doesn't really matter. It's probably actually nicer to have another flat fitting.
Okay.
As we can adjust that easier than when it's half made, Terry, can't we, really?
Yeah, I mean, if we had the luxury, a bit more time, we'd gone to a forward fitting, as you said.
But it doesn't detract from the, you know, when firms we've both worked for, we probably would, they do that, first fitting, second fitting, the same, forward, re-forward, sometimes not necessary, but sounds better.
And then what would the third fitting look like?
The third fitting, then you'd have all the lining in, the facings on.
Yeah, so at that point it's still the same as the third fitting would otherwise be.
Yeah, it's going to be virtually finished at that stage. Then we just check things like sleeve length. Yeah. Because by the time we play about with the sleeve pitch, the sleeve lengths alter slightly. Yeah.
And at that point the buttonholes aren't in, so you analyze the buttonholes.
We hate that. We see them come in here, no name, no pack drill, as they say, but where somebody's finished it, shorten the sleeve, and you've got 1.25 inches at the bottom on one, 1.5 inches on the other. Not our scene.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for coming over.
It's an honor,
Thanks
John.
for giving us your time. You're a great guy.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much to
you
all.
Thank you.
And we'll try and
that's
make
coming
it
together
special.
Coming together
nicely.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Great choices. I mean, I think
that's lovely.
Bird's eye and then
that's
this.
a great cloth, and it may once it goes, it may not appear again. So it might be nice to own something.
It's one of my favorite house tweeds.
Yes. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lovely.
Thanks very much.
Thank you indeed. We're going to literally finish up and mark up.
There we go.
Take care.
All right. Cheers.
Lovely.